Start with a Tuesday in March. You have 3 kids. The oldest is 14, steady, easy to trust, the kind of kid teachers thank you for. The youngest is 5 and gets a laugh just by existing. And the middle one, your girl, 11, used to be the loud one, the arguer, the one with opinions about everything, including things that do not concern her. She once fought you for 20 minutes about whether a hot dog is a sandwich. She lost, appealed, and won on appeal. Sometime around March, she goes quiet. Not sad quiet, careful quiet. At dinner, your oldest talks about his grades, and you lean in. Your youngest knocks over a cup, and everyone laughs. And your middle one watches all of it, like someone keeping score in a game she has stopped expecting to win. She answers questions in single words. She has stopped correcting anyone. She asks to leave the table early, and you say yes, and you tell yourself it's a phase. But that night, you can't sleep. So at 1 in the morning, you do what every parent does now. You reach for your phone and you type the words, middle child syndrome. 40 million results. Article after article telling you the same story. The forgotten one, the invisible one, the resentful one, squeezed between the responsible oldest and the adored baby. Every page reads like a diagnosis of your dinner table. The guilt arrives fast and settles in deep. Hold that guilt, because the first thing the science says about it will surprise you. In 2015, researchers at the University of Leipzig pulled together data from more than 20,000 adults across Germany, the United States, and Great Britain, and published the results in PNAS, one of the most demanding journals in science. The question, does your position among siblings actually shape who you become? Firstborn, middle, last? Does the slot leave a mark on personality? The answer was almost embarrassing. Nothing. No effect on how outgoing you are, nothing on emotional stability, nothing on kindness, discipline, or imagination. The only trace was a tiny edge in measured intelligence for firstborns, so small you would never notice it across a dinner table. The same year, a second team ran the numbers on 377,000 American high schoolers. Same verdict. The effects were so small, the researchers called them meaningless in any real life. So there it is, 500,000 people, 3 countries. Middle child syndrome is not in the data. Your daughter is not quiet because she was born second. The slot is empty. Which should be a relief, but it isn't, because she is still going quiet, at a real table, in a real house. If the syndrome is a myth, what is she reacting to? Jump to July. 4 months later, and it's worse, in the way that's hard to explain to anyone who wasn't there. She's polite now. Polite is worse than loud. She clears her plate, says thank you, disappears to her room. But you've started catching something. When you praise her brother's report card, her eyes flick to your face, just for half a second, and then away. At school pickup, you watch her walk to the car while another mother tells you what a delight your youngest is, and your daughter hears it, and her expression doesn't change at all. That's the part that scares you. It used to change. She isn't sulking, she's measuring. And one evening, you run your own numbers. In the last week, how many times did you correct her? And how many times did you correct the other 2? How many follow-up questions did each kid's dinner story get? You stop counting because you don't like the totals. And here is where the science stops being comforting. In January 2025, the journal Psychological Bulletin, the place where psychology settles its arguments, published the largest analysis ever done on parental favoritism. Researchers at Brigham Young University combined 30 studies and 14 databases, 19,469 children and parents. The question nobody wants asked out loud: do parents actually have favorites? The answer was yes. Not sometimes, as a measurable, repeating pattern. And the pattern is not what the magazines told you. Parents don't systematically favor the oldest or the baby or any birth slot. They favor, brace for this, the easy child, the agreeable one, the conscientious one who does homework without a war. Favoritism follows low friction. The study found both mothers and fathers even tilt toward daughters on average, but the deepest groove was temperament. The child who costs you the least conflict quietly collects the most warmth. Now put that next to your table. Your oldest is easy to trust, so he gets trust. Your youngest is easy to adore, so he gets adoration. And your middle one, your intense one, your arguer, your girl with opinions, is the expensive child, the one who pushes back, the one whose bedtime is a negotiation and whose homework is a treaty. Therefore, she gets the corrections, the sighs, the shorter patience, not because you love her less, because she's harder. And the cruelest part of the machine is exactly that. The difficult kid receives less warmth at precisely the moments she needs more of it. The engine runs on friction, and your most flammable kid lives closest to it. But maybe you're thinking, I don't have a favorite. I'd swear it in court. You don't need one, because decades of this research agree on a second finding. Children track the differences anyway. Your daughter is not reading your heart. She's reading Tuesday nights. Who got leaned toward, who got laughed at fondly, and who got corrected, whose story got the follow-up question, and who's got while you check the oven. Kids run this ledger with terrifying accuracy. Siblings interviewed separately about their own families describe the same tilts their parents insist aren't there. And the less favored side of that ledger is where the damage shows up. In confidence, in behavior, in how much she believes she belongs in her own family. So what's the move? Total equality? Same bedtime for the 14-year-old and the 5-year-old, identical presents, praise rationed out in equal scoops like a courtroom? Your kids would see through it in a week, and strangely, the science says they don't even want it. Back in 1997, in the journal Child Development, researchers Amanda Kowal and Kramer did something simple and brilliant. They interviewed 135 kids and their older siblings separately about how their parents divided affection and control. The follow-up work tracked what those perceptions did to kids' well-being. The finding flips the whole problem. Different treatment by itself did not damage children. What mattered was whether the difference felt fair. When kids understood the reason, he's older, she needs more help, that's a different age, they accepted striking amounts of unequal treatment without a scratch. Some even called unequal treatment fair. What corrodes a kid is not difference. It's difference with no explanation, a gap she has to explain to herself at 11, alone at the dinner table. And the explanation an 11-year-old writes is always the same one. It must be me. So in October, you change two small things. First, you start saying the reasons out loud. Your son stays up later, and now you say why in front of everyone. He's 14. When you're 14, so will you. 5 seconds. The gap she used to fill with "it must be me" now has a real answer in it. You do it everywhere the treatment differs. Bedtimes, allowances, who sits in the front seat, and something unexpected happens. The fairness arguments get shorter for all 3 kids because every ruling now comes with reasons attached. Second, you build the thing that is only hers. Thursday afternoons, it's you and her in the car to taekwondo class, 20 minutes each way. No brothers, no sharing. And one Thursday, stopped at a red light, you tell her the sentence you've been carrying for a while. You argue like a lawyer. And honestly, I love it. Nobody in this family thinks like you. Not you're smart. Her brother is smart. It's rankable. She'd check the math. This one has her name on it. There is no leaderboard for arguing like a lawyer. She doesn't say much. 11-year-olds don't. But the next Thursday, she's in the car before you are. And somewhere around the fourth Thursday, the car starts filling up with opinions again. About her instructor, about her brother's music, about whether a hot dog is a sandwich, a case she reopens without warning. You lose on appeal. You have never been happier to lose anything. March again. 1 year, 1 loop. Dinner. Your oldest is halfway through a story about his exam when your middle one interrupts him, loudly, with an opinion about something that does not concern her. Your youngest laughs. Your oldest argues back. The table is chaos, and you sit back and let it run. So keep what the year actually proved. Birth order is an address, not a destiny. Favoritism doesn't follow the middle, it follows the easy. And kids can live with different. They can't live with unexplained. The loud one is back at the table. What if your hardest kid was never your problem child, just the one checking, harder than the others, whether you see her?